This channel is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as legal advice. Today marks the start of our third quarter, beginning with Course 1 materials and new information on the final process of Patrick Devine's great work that set himself free. Today we will be covering the structure of your bank and the main positions held to operate your private bank successfully. Additionally, we will be covering the crucial topic of the performance and the payment bonds, essential knowledge for anyone looking to navigate the monetary system as an individual banker. After today's course, it's important to note that while I'm your guide in this course, I'm not the originator of this information. The insights we will explore have been brought to light by many great gurus, including Patrick Devine. His tireless research and dedication led him to uncover a remedy for freeing oneself from the monetary system. After 9 years and 5,560 documents, essays, and submissions to various government entities, Patrick Devine discovered the key to liberation in 2016. Then he disappeared and said, "Now it's up to you to set yourselves free." This live 4-day course will cover the final process of Patrick Devine's great works, as well as information from others who helped him along the way. Let's begin. Okay, a lot to cover today. Let's start off with the updates of Creditor Academy, and then we will get right into today's lesson because we have a lot to cover. Quick updates. There's updates on the IDs, the badges, and all of the documents, and including the stamps. We are making the announcement tomorrow on our Facebook group for how you can get access to those. So go ahead and subscribe to our Facebook channel, which is by Creditor Academy, or to find directly the link to our Facebook page, you can email creditoracademy@gmail.com, as well as all of our other social media sites. In addition to our announcements, we have the professors. They are already putting together their course syllabus and their days of availability. We will also give information on our Facebook channel on all the great professors. They'll kind of introduce themselves, tell a little bit about their background, and just get a nice hello on our Facebook group tomorrow as well. Again, the professors are there to take everything step by step. What do I mean by step by step? I do not mean not only how to guide you through Patrick Devine's final process, but for you to get the proper understanding of how he operated. You see, when you understand the full scope of the big picture, as I cover in all of my classes, you will know how to operate your own private bank. Your private bank is one of your highly close assets to your job, which is an individual banker. And you, as the individual banker, have a tremendous amount of responsibility. And getting the right education about how to operate your bank is what's going to set you up for not only success, but also financial sovereignty. In addition, I added for those of you that got the full Patrick Devine files, check the Creditor Academy file that has been added on there. That is the indenture agreement outline that I have used for Creditor Academy is there. So now if you're doing your own business trust for your own private business, now you have that available to you. In addition, you have the complete manual on how you run your business trust in there. I'm also including, if you want to read it, all of the other business trust like literature. The business trust literature that I'm referring to is like American jurisprudence, which is about business trust, the reinstatement of the law of trust, and the express trust under the common law document. And I'll also add another document that I think would be really helpful. Again, as much information as I can get to you so then you are set up for success, I'm going to put inside of that file and keep on adding to it. Now, let's go over once again the overall vision of Creditor Academy. We serve two purposes, which is firstly to educate, inspire, empower, and motivate people to obtain financial sovereignty through private banking, inspired by the teachings of Patrick Devine. And then secondly, we are a business that is looking to help businesses operate into the private. We believe that the best way to restore the public is by helping others in operating their own businesses in the private as well. That's why I'm giving you all of my business trust stuff, so then you don't have to get a UBI number through the state. You get better protections and also better tax benefits as well. Very important. Now, the subject matter in the classes that I'm going to be teaching over the next 4 days is something I'm going to be adding to my book, okay? And I've been sitting down and I've been writing the book. The book is called Your Journey to Private Banking, How to Find Your Remedy, written by me, but from Creditor Academy. And here, I've been having a lot of consultations in the last couple of days, and over the last month, I've had about 70 consultations in total. And you know what it has done is it's given me a lot of insight to the way that we all think, but also it's given me a lot of insight from just talking with all of you on your independent journeys through this kind of truth movement. A little bit about me: when I was kind of going into the truth movement myself, I went through every guru imaginable, but I really sunk into wanting to find out how to conquer the monetary system. It was a personal mission of mine. And so from going from group to group to website and seeing not only the materials that they're provided, but also how they're operating and how each one of the gurus is kind of presenting themselves. There's 3 things that I kind of took away from that, as well as kind of the personal experiences that I've kind of heard from you that kind of emulated the same thought and perspective. The first perspective is, one, they're teachers, okay? They are teachers of the sovereignty movement or private banking or whatever subject of interest that they're putting into it. The second observation is that they're running their own business, just like I'm running my own business in the private as well. And that, I gotta say, as I've mentioned before when I was first kind of introducing kind of the business side of the introduction of my videos now, is that the first, step in running a business is understanding the responsibilities of leadership. Leadership is an immense amount of responsibility because you have others that are really relying on you, and you have to be on top of it. And you got to really know what you're talking about. I don't need to know everything about every department, but I need to know how each department should run. And I got to rely on the experts that I hire, and I got to be a really good judge of people's personalities, and also be able to find who's the best fit for the positions that I'm putting them in, and make sure that I can give them tasks and deadlines that are realistic for what they're trying to accomplish for the betterment of Creditor Academy. All that being said, it is the same thing that the gurus are doing is the same thing you are going to be doing. There is no difference. You are going to be running and operating your own private bank. There are many positions to this private bank. And in addition, you're going to be running a company. And with any company, there are many positions of a company. Now, some of you may think, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go sip margaritas on the beaches of Hawaii and not have to worry about running a business and go through all that headache. However, you're going to be running a business regarded with your private bank. And like me and other people that are in this kind of movement as well, one example was a real estate mogul kind of person who has more than 96 properties. I had a great conversation with him. And he was like, you know what, Paul Michael, I'm using my credit. I'm doing bills of exchanges. I'm doing this and that. When I first bought my first property, or my first 2 properties, things were fine. Things were easy. Then I went for 4 and 5 and 6 and so on. And then I started saying to myself, well, I kind of need a property management company. You know, maybe I want to get them involved. Oh, and then I had to, you know, through my property management, you know, I had to get some accounting because, wow, this is a lot of property and whatnot. So I need to do the right kind of accounting. And now I'm getting so many phone calls about different properties. And, you know, I wanted to build the website to get myself. So before he knew it, he was running his own business and being an estate owner, you know, with all these different properties and such as that. Whatever endeavor that you choose to do with your private banking and your unlimited credit, you know, it's all the best to you, but you need to know how to operate like a business. And many gurus do not know how to run a business. And that's why there is so much disorganization. I don't blame them. I mean, I would be in the same way. I mean, they are the media creators. They have to come up with all the course material that they're going to teach you. They have to reply to all your emails. They have to be the HR rep or the secretary. They got to do phone calls and all that. And that's just on the front end side of them doing their teaching. And also they're the professor, and that syllabus of teaching is quite a bit. Plus they got to edit their videos and whatnot. The second part is running a business is, you know, you got to do the accounting and everything for that. And you need to know your processes pretty well and how you're going to structure your business as a business trust. And then the third thing is, man, they're operating their own private bank and going into all the positions of it as well. So by the time they're doing all three of those things all into one and then kind of disseminating the information to all of you who are curious about freedom yourself, they're picking from all these different hats that they're wearing. And that's where chaos comes into play. That's why right out the gate, I said, I need help. I need volunteers. I need a staff of 70 or more in order to accomplish what it is that I'm trying to put together. The three things that I'm trying to put together are: one, Creditor Academy. It's the education basis by which you get the knowledge on how to run your bank. It's a prestigious position. For example, here in at the University of Washington, they're hiring a new CFO. It's a $300,000 a year position, and there's more than 720 applicants. I know because I was curious about it, because I was like, well, I'm into banking, I'm kind of into that, maybe I could do it. And I was just kind of curious, you know, how they operate and stuff like that. I get bored sometimes, but now I'm not bored. I'm fully invested into this. So it's a prestigious position, but as you can imagine, the educational background that you need to even be a candidate that they would somewhat consider to be a CFO for the University of Washington, I mean, your education's got to be crazy. The same education level that you need to be an individual banker with unlimited assets, and you need to know how to operate those assets, is just as equal of an education. It's no joke. It's no joke. You don't go for the higher up positions without having the proper fortitude of education to go ahead and accomplish that. So that's what Creditor Academy 1 is looking to do, is go ahead and educate, inspire, and empower you to get there so you know how to operate your private bank as an individual banker. The second thing Creditor Academy is doing, which is what I'm doing in the book, is related to what my previous work was. My previous work professionally was I ran a consulting company, an international consulting company, where I did licensing for healthcare businesses all across the United States. What we did is basically we worked with the Department of Health. We went ahead and got the licenses for each individual one of our clients. We put together the compliance, policy and procedure, all the job descriptions and stuff like that, all nicely into pack that were in compliance with what the Department of Health of that state was, okay? Now, my clients, however, I mean, that was really great. I mean, as soon as we put that all together, now my clients knew how the operations of their home health care business, assisted living facility, or group home was going to operate. That is what's missing in the truth movement. There's no operating procedure for how to run your private bank. And because there's no operating procedure and you don't know all of the different positions that are going on in the bank, you cannot organize yourself to effectively run it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together those policies and procedures, so then you have completely everything. Hey, what does the bounty hunter do? What does the banking examiner do? What does the attorney in fact do? What is the individual banker's responsibilities? What's important and what's not important? All of that is outlined in the policy and procedure and compliance manual. And I'm here to tell you, if it's anything like the healthcare agencies where I did the licensing for them, it was in upwards of 3,000 to 6,000 pages worth of operating procedures. So it is an in-depth and an in-detailed way of operating. Now, the third thing, as if I haven't said enough. In order for me, I'm not talking about anybody else, I'm just talking about me. In order for me to go to the levels I want to take, Paul Michael Rowland Private Bank ENT, is I can't run every position of my bank. I can't run every position of my school. I can't run every position of my business for businesses. You need to put people in place so they can assist you professionally in operating your private bank, your private business, or your private school. Okay? Otherwise, what will happen is you will try to make yourself a knowledgeable in everything, but a master of nothing. And that's what you need. You see, one of the first things that I came to realize when it came to the my first remedy. My first remedy, if you've heard me say this before, was the W-8-BEN and being a non-resident alien with my current employer. Okay, I sent that in. You know, I had an affidavit, I had a packet, I had a whole thing. I was working with another organization. They were super great. I highly recommend them. If you ever want to, just ask me about them. But with them, I went ahead and submitted everything. And before I knew it, I got my taxes back. I didn't have to worry about FICA, Social Security. I was like, wow, what an amazing thing. Now, did I have to learn everything about accounting in order to make that happen? No. What I needed to do was instruct the accountant that I was working with or the payroll manager and say, hey, this is the process. This is how you need to treat me. And here's the reasons why you need to treat me this way. I didn't need to learn everything about what an accountant does to get the end result. This is the same thing for your private bank. You don't need to know everything about what the accounting officer does or the bounty hunter does or anything else about it. You just need to know how to properly instruct them to do your paperwork and your processes and just be the oversight. It's the same thing I do for my business. I was talking to my SEO person today. And also my website developer. My website developer is the professional at website developing as well as my SEO agent. I don't need to know everything that they know in order for me to know that they did their job right. I just need to know about enough about the process.
Every time.
Paul, you froze again, brother. I don't know if you can hear us.
Yeah, he froze again.
Started early this time.
The powers that be don't want us free.
I literally feel like it's
Good.
30 minutes in every time. Like it's at the same.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yep, they know.
Yep, the powers that be don't want
Yep.
us free.
Yep. They listen to everything.
I let them know. Can't they have their own platforms? Like, do they have to use Google?
They got spies everywhere.
I mean, this is terrible, man. This is really terrible, man.
I
It's
think we
enough
need to
for
go
everybody in the
private.
world, man.
That's what I'm saying. We should go. They should just have their own private platforms on their own servers, and they don't have to worry about Google and Facebook and all these other places.
What they should
Well,
have
they
did, it
need
should
to
have teach
sign
us
up
That's a good
ministers
this
point,
shit
while
in
Lee.
they're
school.
doing
They should have teach us this shit in school instead of teaching us that bull crap.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
They
Then
wouldn't
you
have
wouldn't be a
slaves if they
slave.
didn't. If they taught this in school.
There
it.
you go.
Oh,
That's right.
exactly.
You know what's really sad about this whole system? Like you grow up and you're thinking, you consider the American dream. Like I
Right.
thought the American dream was to go to school. I got a master's, I got a bachelor's,
Yeah.
I got a PhD. And then it's like to learn this stuff, like I'm a secure party creditor. And now I just learned about Paul Michael last week. And I'm
all,
just like,
all of
you
that
know,
was
So like,
bull
what
crap.
is for?
I mean, and it's, I'm grateful that I did it, because it was hard to do. But it's like now that I think about what I have, it's like I could have circumvented all of that and
Yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and you got all of this money that you spend on education only to find out that the money is
It's
monopoly
phony.
money and that the
Everything
whole
is.
system is so fictitious. It's just,
Okay,
yeah. Okay.
There he
I
is.
am back. All right. I don't know why that happens almost like a tradition now. So
I was telling them it's like the same time every time now too. I don't know.
it's the same time every
Yeah,
time. I know it.
clockwork,
I know
man.
it. And then it just reboots.
We
Okay.
were talking about
So
assistance.
yes, for
though.
this next 4-day, go ahead and mute everybody. But go ahead. But this next 4-day course, what we'll be covering is all the positions of your private bank. Okay. You see, what made Patrick Devine so influential is he, because of his studying and memorizing and really understanding what it is that he was doing, he knew all the positions that he needed to cover and to operate for his private bank. Now, I do have good news. Because everything I was kind of saying is a little stressful. You're like, oh my gosh, that's so much information. Wow, 3,000 to 6,000 pages of operating procedure and stuff like that. That's quite a bit. Do I really need to know that much? Well, one, my answer to you, as it was with all the healthcare businesses, is you're the owner of that business and you're the individual banker. So you better know. But number two is that we're going to nurture you in our course to give you the high level understanding. That's the purpose of you guys being here right now. We're giving you the high level understanding so then it's not going to feel so burdensome. And we're going to start from its infancy with our professors, and we're going to get you with the structure with the EINs. Majority of my consultations and the answers to all your questions are at the beginning of the EINs. And honestly, you wouldn't even be in the situation, and many of you are getting out of it just because you're understanding the EINs as well. Congratulations to a number of you that were able to understand the structure of the private banker being the fiduciary over the estate and the foreign grantor trust. And one person put their house inside of their foreign grantor trust, and now they are avoiding foreclosure. So congratulations to them and all the other success stories that I have been hearing. They should be uploading their videos to their My Remedy series drive file, which I will post every remedy that somebody has. Okay, so big picture. Let's start off with where we are today. This is class 1, so we're going to start with the big picture on everything. Let's start with, this is where I like to start. Let's start with your mama. Okay, you were born, and when you were born, your mother gave birth to you and then started a trust. Okay, the trust was signed by her, and then your father was a witness to the birthing. That's why on your birth certificate, mama and daddy have different last names. It's always your mother's maiden name, and never the fact that when they were married and had you, if that was the case, that was on your birth certificate. It's the same on my birth certificate. Both my parents have different last names, even though they were married at that time. Okay, so then so your mama is the grantor. The grantor, and you were given your birthright or your letter of credit. And your birthright letter of credit was your certificate of live birth. Unlike the real world, where if someone steals your money, your girl, your house, and beats you up and leaves you penniless and on the side of the street, is usually what happens if you have that sort of attack. And a similar attack happened to us in the 1913 to 1933 when we got in the foreign banking cartel. The foreign banking cartel just said, tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I'll give you unlimited credit if you give me all your gold. And when I say give me all your gold, I mean I'm going to steal all your gold. And when I steal all your gold, I'm going to give you your letter of credit. And then when I mean I give you your letter of credit, I mean I'm going to give it to you, but really I'm going to use it for my benefit because I'm not going to tell you how to use the letter of credit. That's for you to figure out. So now you got this unlimited credit because it's backed by the gold that was stolen by us. And since credit and money isn't real, there's no way to monetize it with real assets because there are no real assets. It's monopoly money. It's unlimited. Your certificate of live birth is your checking account of mama, okay? So mama, checking account, certificate of live birth. Government came in, created something called a straw man, a fake entity, an entity that they own, but you control, okay? And they put it in your name, which is all caps. Now, as it's that one is called the savings account, all right? So all your unlimited credit goes flowing from your checking account into your savings account, okay? Now, that's the current structure that you're in right now. Now, let's go into the private structure that we're creating and then meld the two together, okay? The private structure you're creating over here is your private bank. Your private bank at the very top is your private banker's EIN. The owner of the private bank is your individual banker. That's the position that you hold for your private bank. And when you go down, you're going to have your own checking account, which is your estate. Your estate is going to hold the decedent. The decedent is the straw man. The straw man is the Social Security number. So your estate is now over the checking account, which is receiving unlimited credit from the other checking account, which is your certificate of live birth. The second thing that you're creating, and also you are the executor of that estate, okay? So think of it this way. You're the individual banker, okay? Estate is the executor of the estate. That's another title you hold, okay? Now you're going to have the foreign grantor trust. Foreign grantor trust is your savings account. It's the vault of the business. And that's where you're going to house all of your assets. If you house your assets inside of the foreign grantor trust, it is in a foreign jurisdiction in a non-Hague country. And in that non-Hague country, it's outside of the jurisdiction of the all caps for-profit United States. And then the foreign grantor trust, you can house your property or your assets that you purchase in the future inside of it for safe keeping. Okay, so now you got your checking account. Your checking account is over the savings account of this, and you are now creating a new funnel where the birth certificate goes to the Social Security number, which then routes to your private bank in your estate checking account. So then you can start liquidating assets over there, okay? All right, so there's that on a high level. Now, going even more high level, going back to my previous, business history here, I did licensing for the Department of Health for all these healthcare businesses across the country. Okay. The first thing I had to do was I had to talk to the Department of Health. I said, what's your rules, laws, regulations, policies, procedures? How do I get a license for this healthcare business that I'm the power of attorney over? And so then they would say, oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got to do that. And you got to do this and that and this and that and this and that. And so you're going to do the same thing. You are kind of, that's in the public side, applying for a license. You, on the other hand, are applying for a UCC contract trust control. Okay. That's your equivalent of applying for a license. So you go ahead, you establish a UCC contract trust, which is very in-depth, a lot of description. Again, I'm just giving you a high level. But you as the private banker are establishing your license, so to speak, through the UCC contract trust so that you have control of your debtor assets accounts of your unlimited credit. Okay, and then you can discharge and do stuff like that. So now you do that application. Congratulations, you got the license. Now you're in the same pickle that my clients were in when they got their healthcare license. They said, Paul Michael, thank you so much. I loved you. I loved your legal team. You guys were efficient. You communicated the Department of Health through me. I now have my license to operate as a healthcare business. Now, the question is, just because you have the license to operate the business, does that mean you're going to be successful? No.
No.
It doesn't.
Nope.
You got to operate your business. You got to know how to market yourself, how to organize it, how to do your HR and stuff like that. This is the carbon copy to what the movement is right now. Everybody has their license. That is great. It is a hard thing to do and come into. I totally understand that. But now everybody's got $100 million bonds for like 2 or 3 years, and they got all this unlimited credit, but they don't know how to use it. Often, just to give you a statistic, 40% of new healthcare businesses that got started where we did their licensing left the business within 2 years or totally shut down or went bankrupt. 40%. That was super high. That's why we had the mission to solve the healthcare crisis. How we were solving the healthcare crisis is by not only getting the licensing for healthcare businesses, but then we would give them the software and management tools that they needed to operate their business. And then we also would teach them about how to market their business, how to come up with a process, policy, procedures, and stuff like that, and implement it for their business, how to do recruiting and staffing, how to kind of do that. So I would hold groups like this, where I'd have a couple hundred healthcare agencies that were brand new businesses. And I would say, okay, I'm partners with Google, Microsoft, here and there, and all these other software companies. They all agreed to give you a discount to go ahead and utilize their services. So now those are your vendors. And now I have a recruiting and staffing company. I will go ahead and help you find the clients, or I'll help you find the workers that you need. And then I also have other smaller departments like my Google SEO people and whatnot. And for a fraction of the price, I'll go ahead and do your Google SEO. Just pay this small monthly fee. So now I made it more affordable for them to run and operate their businesses because I'm piecemealing everything. And then they were also getting business strategies about how to run a business by coming to my classes. Well, lo and behold, I'm doing the same thing all over again, just repackaging it inside of this environment. Only this is going to be 10 times as successful because we're working on a totally different level. So I'm very excited. All that to be said, if you want to volunteer or be a part of what we are doing, and if you want to actually see what it's like to run a business in the private, run a private bank in the private so that you can learn how to do it yourself, and also be a part of the education of others in this truth movement, come to Creditor Academy. We are been around less than 1 month, and we're almost up to what, about 25 pending applicants and or staff to work full time for us, or full and part time, and everything in between there. So I do not mess around. I get straight to the point, and I am so determined to get this engine moving for everybody else. But we have to be honest with ourselves on what the problem is, and we need to look at the whole picture here. And the whole picture is no one guru can do it all. It takes a team, and it doesn't take only a team. It takes a team of experts in the individual practices that they are good at, and to rely on them and create a bond in a relationship. Okay, cool. I think we got the high level stuff. Let's go over now the presentation of the structure. And we're going to go over the first employee of your private bank. Okay? Give me a moment. Okay. When you can see my screen, let me know.
We got it.
Okay.
Yep.
It's up.
All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see a little bit better. Okay. In the context, and this, I wrote this just to kind of summarize things as best I can. But in the context of private bank operating as a fiduciary of an estate in foreign grantor trust within the sovereignty banking framework, several key roles are crucial for its operations. These roles encompass a range of responsibilities, from managing assets and investments to ensure compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Here's an introduction to some of the important roles. Number 1, bank examiner, responsible for ensuring compliance with banking laws, regulations, and internal policies. Conducts audits and reviews to assess the bank's financial health and adherence to legal requirements. The job duties include conduct regular audits of bank activities and records, review financial statements and reports for accuracy and compliance, and investigate any irregularities of discrepancies in bank operations. An example of daily operational tasks are review transactions records to ensure compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Number 2, conduct interviews with bank staff to gather information for audits. And number 3, prepare reports detailing audit findings and recommendations for corrective actions. Number 2, the bounty hunter. In the context of sovereignty movement, this role might involve locating and recovering assets held by the bank or beneficiaries. When it says beneficiaries, who's the beneficiary? The beneficiary is the beneficial owner. You are the beneficial owner over these fugitive bailment accounts. Your job duties as a bounty hunter are to locate and recover assets held in trust or estate accounts. Work with legal counsel to ensure compliance with relevant laws and regulations. Maintain accurate records of asset recovery efforts. An example of your daily operational tasks are conduct research to locate assets based on client information and available records. Who's the client? You are the client. You are the one that is the bailee over the bailment, which is your social security number, your driver's license, your certificate of title to the vehicle, and the bailor is your straw man, where you draw those credits out from in order to settle the debts. You will communicate with relevant parties such as financial institutions or government agencies to facilitate asset recovery. A lot of you are doing that right now. You're acting as a bounty hunter. You are going to the banks that you have your contracts with, and you are starting to say, hey, I want to start looking over these contracts that were signed by the bailor, and I want to start investigating what contracts we are here and bring that over to the banking examiner. Document all asset recovery activities and update case files accordingly. The next employee of your private bank is an attorney in fact, a person authorized to act on behalf of another in legal or financial matters, such as signing documents or making decisions relating to trust or estate management. The job duties includes represent the bank in legal matters related to the trust and estate administration, make decisions on behalf of clients or beneficiaries according to their instructions or best interests, ensure compliance with legal requirements and fiduciary duties, okay? An example of daily operational tasks is review legal documents such as contracts or agreements on behalf of clients of the bank, okay? Attend meetings with clients, beneficiaries, or legal counsel to discuss legal matters. Prepare and execute legal documents such as power of attorney or trust agreements. Also, this is part of your RICO, okay? RICO, you're part of the whistleblower as well. So when you are communicating with government authorities, you're saying, hey, oh wait, no, that's not attorney in fact. Excuse me. Ignore what I, yes. Okay, never mind. Just ignore what I just said. Okay, bank clerk provides administrative support to the bank's operations, including record keeping, customer service, and basic financial transactions. Your job duties are maintain records of the bank transactions and client accounts, assist customers with inquiries, account openings, and basic financial transactions. Prepare reports and correspondences as needed. An example of daily operational tasks is process customer transactions such as deposits, withdrawals, and transfers. Answer customer inquiries and provide information about bank products and services. Update account records and maintain filing systems. Trustee of foreign grantor trust manages assets held in the foreign grantor trust on behalf of the grantor and beneficiaries, ensuring compliance with relevant laws and regulations. Your job duties are manage trust assets and investments according to the trust agreement and applicable laws. Distribute trust income and principal to beneficiaries as specified in the trust agreement or indenture agreement. Maintain accurate records of trust transactions and activities. Example of daily operational tasks are monitor trust investments and adjust portfolios as needed to achieve trust objectives. Communicate with beneficiaries regarding trust distribution and other matters. Prepare and file tax returns for the trust in compliance with tax laws. The next position is the executor of the estate. Manages the estate of the deceased person, that's your straw man, including inventory assets, paying debts, that means settling the debts, and taxes, distributing assets to heirs. Your job duties include inventory and appraise estate assets. You're going to kind of basically see on year in, year out, you know, how many more assets you have inside of that checking account. You'll pay debts, taxes, and other obligations of the estate. Again, your estate is your checking account because your estate is the money itself that's inside of your vault. Distribute remaining assets to heirs according to the term of the will or applicable laws. An example of daily operational tasks is communicate with heirs, creditors, and other interested parties regarding the estate. Manage estate assets, such as real estate or investments, to preserve the value. Prepare and file legal documents such as probate petitions or tax returns on behalf of the estate. The next one is the individual banker. Provides personalized banking service to high net worth individuals, including investment advice, wealth management, and financial planning. That is the highest role of the private bank. It's high net worth, and that's what your private bank is. It's a high net worth operating bank. That's why the individual banker is the president of your private bank that you are looking to be. Develop and implement personalized financial plans for clients or for yourself. Recommend investment opportunities and wealth management strategies for yourself. Provide ongoing support and advice to yourself regarding your financial goals. An example of daily operational tasks is meet with yourself to review your financial goals and investment portfolios. Research investment opportunities and prepare recommendations for yourself. Monitor market trends and economic developments to advise yourself on potential risks and opportunities. The next position is the commissioner, a legal officer appointed to perform certain duties such as witness signatures or administrating oaths in the context of a trust and estate matters. Your job duties are administer oaths and affirmations, witness and authenticate legal documents, such as affidavits or power of attorneys. Ensure the legality and validity of documents related to trust and estate administration. An example of daily operational tasks would be witness signatures on legal documents such as trust agreements or estate plans, administer oaths to witnesses or parties involved in trust or estate matters, and verify the identity of individuals signing legal documents. And finally, the accounting officer oversees the financial accounting and reporting functions of the bank, ensuring compliance with accounting standards and regulations. And the job duties are prepare financial statements and reports in accordance with accounting standards, maintain accurate and up-to-date accounting records, and finally, monitor financial performance bonds and analyze variances. An example of daily operational tasks is review financial transactions and ensure they are recorded accurately, prepare and
Oh,
Not
man.
again. Almighty.
You frozen, Paul.
Every time it gets good, they do this.
Every
Yep.
30 minutes. It's every 30 minutes. Look at the time.
Hot mess.
This world is so broken.
Sure is.
It's not the world, it's the people.
Yeah, the people in the world.
Are there any notaries here?
Got a lot of stats. Can't hear you.
Is there anyone here that's a notary?
Not me.
I have two 20-year-olds who I'm trying to get them to do it.
That's what we really need.
Exactly. So I'm saying have a great business for the summer.
Just go to your bank and they'll notarize it.
Yeah. And a few accountants also.
My mobile notary comes tomorrow for some documents to notarize to send to the banks.
Wouldn't it
You
be
can
a
also do it
online
online.
bank, online notary? Because you'd be a banker, I mean, a notary just for your city. Wouldn't that how they do that? I don't know.
Okay.
I'll look into it.
I'm getting a lot of great likes today.
It would be nice to
Where
set one
did
up
I
as a
leave off? Can you
prosecutor.
tell me where I left off before I got cut off again?
Job duties of,
Accounting officer.
Which one?
You were
Accounting
going,
Accounting
officer.
officer.
yeah, you just finished accounting officer, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Daily,
okay.
daily accounting.
Fantastic. All right, so I got it through it all right there. Okay, so what I have to say is this is a lot of positions to a bank. So imagine this is, let me stop presenting for a moment. Imagine this. So you book a consultation with me, okay? And you want to start figuring out like, Paul Michael, I'm going through this issue, I'm going through that problem or whatever. How I assess how I speak with you about that specific issue is I try to think about what hat I need to put on in the position of my private bank and what job title, duties, and responsibilities need to be done by that individual in order to get you that specific remedy. Now, it might cross with multiple different departments as well. So even though I'm wearing one hat that has the main duties of what you're asking me to get you your remedy, I'm also like, well, who is this person working closely with? I did that a lot with my healthcare businesses and even with Creditor Academy right now. So my Google SEO person, for example, works hand in hand with my WordPress person, okay? The WordPress website is being advertised in accordance to some Google SEO, okay? Now, this is where the two meld together. I take the data from the Google SEO person and I say, what are the key term word searches on Google that are most related to this particular subject of Creditor Academy? And then they give me the key term words that are most popular, that have the most highest searches. I then incorporate those search words into the website. I might have blogs that hit those key term words. I might put it on the home page. I might, write something in the, a subsection about it. And then what that does is it allows Google's algorithm to kind of relate to the Google SEO and then to the website itself. So then I have a higher opportunity of getting your attention when you type in that keyword, and I will bump up higher on the Google search review because Google's algorithm operates to get you the most relevant information for what you're searching for. So that's just an example of two positions that work together. So when you're asking me about certain remedy, I'm thinking about which hat and which department and which two individuals work closest together that can solve the issue that you're going from. Again, majority of it is in the beginning on how the structure of your bank is, but that's how you need to think about this. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting a policy and procedure manual for how to run your private bank. Then you'll kind of know what each position does, what their responsibilities are. Then if you choose to do that position yourself, you know the guidelines by which your responsibilities are. And if it's kind of a little bit beyond what your expertise are, especially if you're a Google SEO expert and you're trying to take the job of an attorney, a little bit different background, right? So then you can hire somebody to do the work for you, and then you could just give them the guidelines by which they should do their job. And then that'll make your life a lot easier. Now you can manage your unlimited assets with ease and expertise, okay? So that's how I'm pretty much doing it. And it's going to be a lot less stressful as well. I recommend the same for you all. That's why I'm trying to set up a network of connections to connect you with other business owners that have these different expertise. And because they're already interested in this subject and they want to be a part of it, they're going to know what you're talking about when you start referring to it. And then I'll make custom software that's revolved around this space as well. So moving on. So that was all kind of the key positions of your private bank. And what we're going to do is we're just going to, in the next 4 days, I'm just going to hyper focus on one position and relate it to what Patrick Devine was talking about and how Patrick Devine was operating within that position as well. How I'm going to structure it is kind of like, we just went over kind of the positions, the job duties, and the kind of an example of daily tasks. Now I'm going to go into more of what that position does, but how they work with each different department. And this will be a high-level overview, so then you know what not only that position does, but also how you can instruct them. Okay. So let's go on. Back to this. So the first position we're covering today is my favorite. It's the bounty hunter. If you've been in my previous classes, the Bounty Hunter by Patrick Devine was such a great way, a great discovery, and how that related to private banking. So this is my custom write-up of the Bounty Hunter, and then I'll go into what Patrick Devine said about the Bounty Hunter, and then you should know by the end of this what the purpose role of the Bounty Hunter is. So then if you have any situations in the future with your processes, you'll be like, oh, I'm going to put on my Bounty Hunter hat so then I can deal with this situation properly. Okay. The role of a bounty hunter working for a private bank within the sovereignty movement is multifaceted and critical to banks' operations. These professionals play a crucial role in locating and recovering assets held by the bank on behalf of clients or yourself or beneficiaries, you, the beneficial owner, utilizing a combination of investigative skills, legal knowledge, and persistence. One of the primary responsibilities of a bounty hunter is to locate assets that have been hidden or transferred to avoid detection. This often involves extensive research and investigation to trace assets through various financial transactions and legal entities. For instance, a bounty hunter may need to follow a complex trail of offshore bank accounts and shell companies to locate funds that have been concealed by a client attempting to evade creditors or legal obligations. Well, what's the shell corporation? The shell corporation in this case is the for-profit corporations, the UCC contract trust for-profit corporations. And the accounts, the offshore accounts, you know, the offshore accounts in Puerto Rico, where your straw man is located, is your social security number, the savings account of your public bank that it is right now. In some cases, a bounty hunter may need to collaborate with legal counsel to obtain court orders or subpoenas to compel the disclosure of information related to the assets. This can involve navigating complex legal procedures and coordinating with law enforcement agencies in different jurisdictions. Different jurisdictions is the key term here. Bounty hunters are not restricted by state or federal jurisdictions. They can go across state lines. If you ever watch Dog the Bounty Hunter, he was all over the country chasing his fugitives, and he can go inside of people's houses without a warrant if he saw that his fugitive was there. So yeah, you are not restricted to the jurisdictions of where you can find your fugitive. You are the fugitive owner over your Social Security and debt instruments. Once assets have been located, the bounty hunter is responsible for coordinating their recovery. This may involve negotiating with financial institutions, liquidating assets, or pursuing legal action against parties holding the assets unlawfully. For example, a bounty hunter may work with local authorities to seize assets in a foreign jurisdiction or initiate civil litigation to recover funds held by a fraudulent investment scheme. Wonder what the fraudulent investment scheme is on that one. And then who are the local authorities? The local authorities are the IRS and the CID, in this context. Furthermore, the role of the bounty hunter extends to identifying and mitigating risks associated with asset recovery efforts. This can include assessing the likelihood of success in recovering assets, evaluating potential legal and financial implications, and developing strategies to minimize risk. In the context of sovereignty banking, where individuals seek greater control over their financial affairs and assets, the bounty hunter's role as the fugitive owner of their own bailments is crucial. This position entails managing their assets and financial affairs to protect them from external threats such as creditors or legal disputes. That's what you're doing. You're Dog the bounty hunter. You got a pile of money behind you. You're the secured party of that pile of money, and you're here to say to the creditors who are making a legal dispute over your credits that you're not allowed to take them. This role is intertwined with their work as a bounty hunter for the private bank, as they leverage their skills and knowledge to recover assets for clients or beneficiaries while also protecting their own assets. The relationship between a bounty hunter and a private bank in terms of law enforcement and protection of the bank's interests is one of collaboration and mutual benefit. The bounty hunter serves as an agent of the bank, working to recover assets and protect its financial interests. In return, the bank provides support and resources to facilitate the bounty hunter's work. Overall, the bounty hunter's role is crucial in ensuring fair sovereignty banking on behalf of the individual banker of the private bank. Their expertise in asset recovery, risk assessment, and legal procedures is essential in safeguarding the interests of clients, beneficiaries, and the bank itself. Okay. Now we're going to go into the interworking relationships of the bounty hunter and the different positions, okay? So, in the context of sovereignty banking, a bounty hunter works in collaboration with various staff of a private bank to fulfill their roles and responsibilities. Each staff member plays a unique role in the operation of the bank, and the bounty hunter's work intersects with these roles in different ways. Here's how a bounty hunter's role might relate to each of the staff members listed. Number one, the bank examiner. The bank examiner ensures compliance with banking laws, regulations, and internal policies. The bounty hunter's role intersects with the bank examiner's work when investigating assets that may be subject to legal or regulatory scrutiny. For example, if the bank examiner identifies potential irregularities in the bank's operations, the bounty hunter may be tasked with investigating these issues to ensure compliance. Number two, attorney in fact. An attorney in fact is authorized to act on behalf of another legal or financial matters. The bounty hunter may work closely with the attorney in fact to gather information, review legal documentation, and make decisions related to asset recovery. For example, the attorney in fact may provide legal guidance on the best approach to recover the assets while the bounty hunter implements the necessary action. The bank clerk. The bank clerk provides administrative support to the bank's operations. including record keeping and customer service. The bounty hunter may interact with the bank clerks to access and review financial records, verify transactions, and gather information relevant to the asset recovery efforts. Number 4, the trustee of foreign grantor trust. The trustee manages assets held in the foreign grantor trust on behalf of the grantor and the beneficiaries. The bounty hunter may collaborate with the trustee to identify and recover assets held in the trust that are subject to legal disputes or asset recovery efforts. That's really important. You're housing a lot of stuff. Your bounty hunter protects what's inside of your foreign grantor trust as much as it does your estate. Executor of the estate. The executor manages the estate of a deceased person, which is your straw man, including inventory assets and distributing them to heirs. The bounty hunter may work with the executor to locate and recover assets that are a part of the estate, especially if there are disputes or challenges relating to the estate. So in that sentence, the executor locate and recover assets that are part of the estate. That involves your driver's license, your SSN, your certificate of title to the vehicle, your title to the house or property or boat or what have you. It also includes your passport and so many other banking instruments. All of those are part of your estate. The individual banker. The individual banker provides personalized banking services to high net worth individuals, including investment advice and financial planning. The bounty hunter may collaborate with the individual banker to identify assets that are at risk or subject to recovery efforts and to develop strategies to protect these assets. Number 7, the commissioner. The commissioner is a legal officer appointed to perform certain duties, such as witnessing signatures or administering oaths. The bounty hunter may interact with the commissioner when legal documents related to asset recovery need to be authenticated or notarized. And finally, number 8, the accounting officer. The accounting officer oversees the financial accounting and reporting functions of the bank. The bounty hunter may work with the accounting officer to review financial records, assess the financial health of the bank, and identify assets that are subject to recovery efforts. Overall, the interworking relationship between a bounty hunter and the staff of a private bank in the context of sovereignty banking is one of collaboration and coordination. Each staff member plays a crucial role in supporting the bounty hunter's efforts to locate and recover assets, protect the bank's interests, and ensure compliance with the legal and regulatory requirements. Okay, let me stop presenting that. The bounty hunter has so much power. They are in the retrieval of assets, and they do the investigation, and they are the ones that they act on the behalf of you, the client. When it says client or beneficiary, I mean, you're the owner of these accounts. You're the client, okay? Really, I could say that the client is the individual banker. And the beneficiaries or the beneficial owner is you as well. And you're utilizing that combination of investigative skills, legal knowledge, and you got to be persistent at finding, you know, your accurate records of how transactions were going. This is why we discuss so much about the performance in the payment bond. The performance in the payment bond, how as marketable and unmarketable securities are what the bounty hunter is investigating. So when you go ahead and you are going to look at your mortgage title or your anything like
Sheesh.
They mad at you, Paul. They mad at you.
They need to get their internet fixed.
You said mortgage and the internet said, that's it, you're off.
Nah, I think somebody said it's the Wi-Fi.
As soon as she said something about property, come on.
He needs to get an Ethernet cable going to his computer. That'd probably help. Instead of going over a Wi-Fi network.
So who wants to be a bounty hunter now?
We already are, brother.
Already is.
Going after the mortgage contracts.
You know, it's
After your
dangerous
good
having
stuff.
2 or 3 of us in one city or in one state at the same time. That's dangerous. That's powerful.
Derek Cobbs and I are here in Vegas.
Hey.
Anybody here from Baltimore?
No, sir. I'm
Dang.
out in
Delaware.
California.
New Jersey.
Virginia.
Dang.
Delaware here.
Texas.
Oh, the private state, Mr. Delaware. That's corporations love that place.
Atlanta.
Yes, they do.
Texas is too, isn't it?
Texas is a republic, but Delaware, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they have like
Delaware got it going
corporate
on.
haven laws. Like all corporations set their principal place of business in Delaware just because it's so pro corporate, you know.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
bylaws. It's
That is
and
where
he-
Abraham Lincoln made it with the United States.
there you go.
DW, where
Yep.
in Nevada are you?
We sure did.
I'm not in Nevada, I'm in Florida, but I was just saying Nevada's another great state for corporation.
Well, you
formation.
That's true.
read that
Okay.
shit.
What was that?
Shout out to Kansas here.
Georgia here.
We got people all over.
I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
There you go.
You know, as
Good
the
thing.
bounty hunter, I don't
Me
want to
too.
send no more letters. I want to walk into
Atlanta.
an office. I want to walk right into the office. Where's the CFO? Get him now.
You know what
Break
guy
out that
does that
badge
on
real
the
quick.
internet? It's a guy that does that. Chief Judge something. He be doing that. This is what he talking about. Businesses that's not doing right. He going there and ask them. I gotta find and get his name.
That's awesome.
It's a guy that's out there on the internet doing it. I think he's in England.
Go in there and do an audit.
Yeah, he walks. Yeah, he does it. I'm gonna find that video. Next class I'll have.
Before Paul come back on, I have a question. I've heard a couple people mention wanting to have the audit done, right? Or like trying to file these A's and these C's, but not being able to get the audit done. If I'm
Okay.
mistaken, there we go.
That audit, man, that's gonna pull up everything since your social security number been printed. You got a lot of man, because I looked it up.
Okay, I am back. Thank you all for your patience. It is really rainy here in Washington State, so I'm not too surprised that this is happening. We have a lot of really heavy cloud coverage, so my apologies for that as my internet just kind of goes in and out. Okay.
Mortgages.
Mortgages?
That's what you were
Yep,
saying.
that was your last word. We're talking about bounty hunting and mortgages and all that good stuff.
Did he talk about the performance and payment bonds? You mentioned that too, Paul Michael.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to switch gears for a second. We're just going to go straight to how this relates to what Patrick is talking about, which is kind of related to what I was just saying. All right. And let me know when you can see it.
We got it.
Okay.
Going back on mute.
Okay. So this is what Patrick wrote about the bounty hunter. Who really knows the American constitutional laws? The valid federal republic government owner bounty hunters versus the foreign state commercial bar and fraudulent bounty hunters, operating as an unauthorized foreign state, foreign banking bounty hunters. 70% of the world's bar bounty hunters in a commercial war with the United States people. The bounty hunter, sometimes called a bounty killer, is a person who captures fugitives and criminals for monetary reward or bounty. This occupation, seen almost exclusively in the United States, is also known as bail enforcement agent or bail agent, recovery agent, bail recovery bond agents, and are almost exclusively found in the United States and in the Philippines. Its former commonwealth, as the practice is illegal under the laws of most other countries. In 1872, the Supreme Court ruled that the bounty hunters were a part of U.S. law enforcement system with the decision of Taylor versus Tainto. Therefore, a federal government owner bounty hunter has superior executive authority based upon the constitutional state preambles of ownership. And as a U.S. executive law enforcement agent per Article 2, Section 2, as a valid bounty hunter of your Republic States militia. And it is also addressed in Article 4, Section 2. Basically, the federal republic government powers of the owner bounty hunter come from the following: the Republic Constitutions and the National Constitution, Article 2, Section 2, and Article 4, Section 2, and the 8th and 14th Amendments. These are the same things that are outlined inside of your non-UCC violence reference data. As the federal republic government owner bounty hunter, you have the superior standing over foreign commercial bar bounty hunters. The foreign commercial clerks of court and administrative foreign commercial bar courts to claim an outright 10% of the administrative bail bonds known as the specific commercial contractor surety performance and payment bonds. When the valid federal republic government owner bounty hunters bail bond claims are initially presented using the required SF forms. SF forms for the reclaiming your surety slave and the recovery of his bailment surety bonds, which are addressed in the individual United States and state of foreign commercial leasing service non-construction contract surety performance and payment bonds. Now, the performance bond is a marketable security, where the payment bond is a non-marketable security. Known as the real and true surety bail bonds, the SF30, 1414, 1416, 1418, and also the SF1047, plus other compensation ones. Per the above, as you are the only valid federal republic government owner bounty hunter, you can claim 10% on the spot of the bounty hunter as the owner. You can claim the full bail bonds and contracted liquidated value. Important part right there is period, comma, contracted liquidated value. That's your SF30. That's your contract to liquidate, and you use the performance and the payment bond to give the instructions on how much you're going to liquidate. Now, the SF forms for the United States bankrupt corporate indentured foreign commercial leasing construction contract surety performance and payment bonds, known as the real true surety bail bonds, are the SF30, the 2825, 25A, and the SF95, and the SF1047, plus other compensation forms. So there you go. There's your difference. There's the non-construction contract surety performance bonds that you use as the Republic bounty hunter versus the SF forms used by the corporate indentured foreign commercial leasing construction contract surety performance and payment bonds. Therefore, as a federal government badged Republic State Militia bounty hunter, you have the right to carry and conceal unlicensed guns and self-protective equipment. You can order the sheriff or U.S. Marshals to arrest any foreign commercial state insurrection agent and the seizure of any foreign commercial construction product, or claim 10% as the federal government bounty hunter and up to 50% as the federal government prosecuting private attorney general of their foreign state commercial individual or corporation bail bonds in the name of just compensation that is due the real federal republic government. And the bounties are addressed in the reward postings for the foreign commercial insurrection banking bar agents in corporations, such as Title 15 USC 1 and 2, 1 million per individual and 100 million per corporation. If you guys remember what we discussed last time, his letter to my questions to the attorneys, you know, when he gets something in reply, you know, this is what he referred to. He was like, hey, I got a question for you. Tell me how this isn't fraud, what you're doing with my mini, what do you call it? With his surety bonds. And he pointed these out. And so he not only asked a question where if they answered, they would incriminate themselves, but he also put in there Title 15 USC 1 and 2. And he's just like, if you keep pushing me and you won't give me my remedy, I'm going to go ahead and come after you as the bounty hunter. That's why every time Patrick Devine submitted his SF 30, 14, 14, 14, 16, 14, 18 forms with his endorsement on the back of his bills, he also sent it with his public identification card, which it has his badge and foreign grantor trust ID on there, as well as him invoking the Republic under Article 4 in which he's operating. So that was the trifecta that he built. Moving on. Who really knows the American banking constitutional laws? The fraudulent and foreign commercial banking laws, banking insurrection states located within the boundaries of the Republic States of America is a total violation of the Constitution per Article 4, Section 3. Patrick Devine says, wake up, America, including all constitutional republic law enforcement agents, because you are also getting screwed by the foreign communistic bar associations. These foreign banking control commercial states, then by their foreign bar agents, they have imposed fraudulent laws and codes in the order to trick or force the American people into unconstitutional commercial contracts known as a UCC contract trust, issued and licensed out by the Commercial Department of the Treasury. The American Bar Association was then declared to be a foreign commercial communistic organization by the 1958 National Congress years ago. And it is still operating today under its same communistic modus operandi. The lower level members do not know that but they are getting kickback payments, and their court actions tell the rest of the story. Communists hate individual freedoms and private property ownership. But just look at their laws, their court rulings against the individual freedoms and confiscations of property in their commercial foreign banking state prisons for profits. The Bar Association operates as a hidden foreign commercial banking bounty hunter, with the bounty hunter system in this nation to file a 10% bail bonds claim using the court cases showing that the fugitive was present in the court. He wasn't, but the court claiming you, the living, were the fugitive slave. Therefore, they can suck off assets from our UCC contract trust performance and payment bonds, because these bonds are in fact bailment bonds, for our fictional slaves, and they are fugitives from the Republic state and are being held in one of the foreign commercial, all caps states, commercial judicial bail bond slave depositories. The invoked constitutional republic laws. The American people are the executive owners per the preamble. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Patrick writes, it is very clear by the first 7 words, the people are the United States, and not the national government nor territorial states. Also, this is the same in every state constitution. The National Republic Constitution of Article 4, the United States People's Article. Section 1, full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. And the Congress may, by general laws, prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved, and the effect thereof. Your proof of the United States Republic banking assurance, a non-usury insurance. Patrick writes that a public act is a public debt, and therefore the people's full faith and credit from the national treasury was to make good on any public debts. There was to be no debtor prisons in this nation. HJR 192 is the general law which prescribed the manner in which the public act of the debt was to be set off using the SF-30 and the UCC contract trust bail bonds as the surety, controlled by the DOJ Justice Finance Office. Section 2. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to the privileges and immunities of citizens in several states. A person charged in any state with treason, felony, or any other crime who shall flee from justice and be found in another all-cap state shall, on demand of the executive authority of the state from which he fled, be delivered up to be removed to the state having jurisdiction of the crime. Patrick writes, by a valid executive owner of age as a Supreme Court validated unlicensed executive bounty hunter, private attorney general, and Republic bank examiner. Section 2 goes on, no person held to service or labor in one state under the laws, therefore escaping into another, shall, in consequence of any law or regulation therein, be discharged from such service or labor, but shall be delivered up on the claim of the party to whom such services or labor may be due. Patrick writes, the valid party is the executive owner of age, executive bounty hunter, private Republic bank examiner. This action of discharge is also addressed in the 14th Amendment, Section 4. Section 3. The new states may be admitted by the Congress into this union, but no new state shall be informed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by the junction of 2 or more states or parts of states without the consent of the legislatures of the states concerned, as well as the Congress. Patrick writes, the United States and the state of are new commercial unconstitutional insurrection corporation states for unjust profits. Section 3 continued. The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States. And nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or of any particular state. Patrick writes, "You are the living United States." Section 4, final section. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion. And on application of the legislator or the executive when the legislator cannot be convened against domestic violence. Patrick writes, "As you are the living United States, you shall always invoke the laws of the Republic as the superior laws." This is how you invoke the superior laws. This is how Patrick Devine did it. He had "we the people and American public citizens" proof of public law identification. Under Article 4, Section 2, the citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in several states. He writes, "In the American Republic, the highest usage of the phrase United States belongs to we the people, and not to the fixed land or the constitutional public servant banking government. I stand over the commercial for-profit United States banking government. As I am the Republic grantor and guarantor, I have full rights as a U.S. Republic law enforcement executive banking examiner over my public and commercial accounts and contracts. An American public citizen's right and freedoms as a privilege in a right to contract using an implied surety or fictional slave person and an immunity means you are not to be forced into a contract." Patrick writes, "I invoke the laws of the Republic as a bank grantor, United States Executive Republic Law Banking Enforcement Owner, Bounty Hunter, Private Attorney General, one having a Republic Executive Banking Examine Authority based upon the constitutional preambles of ownership and as being an 1872 Supreme Court validated U.S. law enforcement agent. Basically, the Federal Republic executive powers of a bank owner, bounty hunter, private attorney general are further confirmed in the National Bank Republic Constitution and the State Bank Republic Constitution per Article 2, Section 2, as the state militia, and all of Article 4 and the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 14th Amendment." And at the bottom, he has it notarized. And as you can see, he has his identification of the republic in which he is operating. The grantor number is the foreign grantor trust number, which is his foreign jurisdiction. The foreign jurisdiction to the for-profit United States, all caps, or state of all caps, is the U.S. Republic. He's putting himself in the U.S. Republic. His badge represents the foreign status that he holds, and his identification further confirms his status as the executive owner, bounty hunter, private attorney general, with his left and right index finger, and even says in the de jure state in which he is operating. This is what he sends. This is what he signed, sealed. Sealed means fingerprint. And as you can see, his individual public banker EIN is on here as well. This completes the trifecta. You have your foreign grantor trust and you have your private bank. And now he's able to act as the bounty hunter to go receive the bailments that are being held in his surety accounts, and they are funded by the performance in the payment bond, okay? And he's liquidating them, and he's using his banking forms. You have to use banking forms if you're going to liquidate these assets. What are your banking forms? That's the standard forms from the GSA, which are the SF30, 1414, 1416, and the 1418. When you utilize your authority in the right way and you use the banking forms in the right way, you will get your remedy. That's why Patrick Devine's final process was so powerful. He had a private identification, which he was verified, which not only he sent over to get his bailments, but this is what he submitted for his UCC contract trust account as well. So when he sent in all of his forms and did a silver surety bond and whatever agreements, I mean, we went over that with Iris in the last one with her homework assignment. This was in there as well. So then when you are corresponding with a bank or a private institution or a public institution, and then they're cross-referencing their records, they see what this is on file. This also goes for courts or law enforcement or anything like that. You are also law enforcement. This is how you operate in the private with your private identification.
I was just saying, Paul, I just realized what all those letters on the badge stand for. I don't know how I didn't get that earlier, but it's executive officer, bounty hunter, private attorney general.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that for like 2 weeks. Like, what does that mean?
They're
But
coming over to bring you thing, but you go
Absolutely.
downstairs and head to the door.
Absolutely. And you want
Might
to,
want
I
to
mean,
brush your hair.
Pauline, can you mute, please?
got it. Yes, and you want your identification. That's your private ID. I carry mine. I have my private identification that I carry with me. And then I always have my badge as well as my bounty hunter, executive owner, and private attorney general. I always walk with authority, but present authority when authority is needed.
What was that last document that you were reading?
That was the
Is that
public
the DD?
identification document.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. That is what you need signed and notarized for you to be able to do this type of enforcement, because you're giving them your titles at that point. And when you give somebody the right titles of identification, they start treating you differently. That's why a lot in this movement, you're just like, well, how do I present myself? How am I going to get how do I get these people to take me seriously? Like, how, who am I? And this is how Patrick Devine got it done, by identifying himself in the right capacity. And the right capacity was through the bounty hunter, the banking examiner, and the private attorney general. The bounty hunter would go collect the assets and the information and go ahead and submit the SF forms for the liquidations of the bailments that he was owner of. And then the executive owner is you. So you're the executive owner over your SSN account, right? Because it's got your name on it. So you're showing your badge that says that you're the executive officer or executive owner. Then finally, the last one is the private attorney general. The private attorney general, when you're not getting your remedy or you're having any pushback, that's where private attorney generals bring it up to the IRS and the CID. So now you're saying, hey, I'm a private attorney general. If you're not following through or what the bounty hunter is doing, then I'm going to go ahead and assert my authority to the higher authorities and go ahead and whistleblow on you. And that's how he pretty much got things done. And that's why this badge has all of those 3 positions on it, because you need to say, I am the owner of this account. That is the bailment. Here's the SF forms, and here's the authority by which that I'm going to report you if you do not give me my remedy or for my accounts that I own. And that's how you do it. Okay, that was a lot. I hope that was fun. But that's everything you need to know about the bounty hunter. We went over Article 4, what it is that you're operating under as far as the laws, and the 3 positions that you're doing to assert your authority, as well as how a bounty hunter interacts with each one of the banking employees. And that should give you a full picture of why you should put on the bounty hunter hat. And I'm going to take questions now. That was quite a bit of information. I appreciate you all kind of sitting through that with me. I hope it was educational. So let's go ahead. Let's start with the hands that are raised. Let's start with Susan.
Howdy, Paul Michael.
Howdy, Susan.
Hey, I'm going to ask my questions like lightning fast.
Go for it.
Okay, ink color for the acknowledgement and the endorsement, does it have to be red? I have an issue with that with my printer. I know that's silly, but
for the endorsement on the back of the bill?
Yeah.
Red is just more noticeable.
Okay.
That's the only reason why it's red.
Okay, perfect. Penal sum on the SF 1418 and 1416. I'm working on a set off right now for a car loan. Do I choose one or the other? I believe that the 1418 is the correct one if it's one or the other, because it's for bills and taxes. Are you putting that penal sum on both of them or just one where you're telling them to draw it from?
Anytime I'm paying for something, I do the performance bond, and I just stick with that. And I don't even submit anything for the payment bond unless I want to liquidate it to deposit it into my private bank.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and I am trying to do liquidations I'm doing a 3-in-1 to one credit union. So I am going to do both of them, but that answers my question. It's put it in the performance on the 1418. You had mentioned before that we absolutely, the way you said it, we absolutely put a copy of the non-UCC inside of the registered mail, but there's been some debate about that behind the scenes. 100% sure you're saying we do put a copy in there, not the original.
Yeah, definitely a copy. What the? No, do not send that original. If there's
No
one
to
thing
yourself
I know,
is what she's asking. Do we send the original register mail to ourselves first, or is that a
no,
copy?
you send the copy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, that's what we did. And then final question, bounty hunter. Could a bounty hunter go after the insurance bond for a CFO?
Yes, we just read that under 15 USC 1 and 2. $1 million per individual and $100 million per corporation.
That's awesome. Crystal clear. Thanks for being patient.
No worries.
Awesome. Bye.
All right, let's go to Deep End.
When you establish that you are or that you establish the article for private quasi-public citizen, can you use that in a legal matter as a matter of standing?
Absolutely. You invoked the laws of the Republic, and you have a public notary that signed off on it, and it's privately registered. So you got 3 things.
He's frozen.
Man, it's crazy. How do you go after the bond of a CFO?
You look into risk management.
Yeah, I think the insurance policies on the business or company. I think that's how it is.
There's a website called Bonds for the Win.
Bonds for the Win. I'll look at that thing.
Is somebody who's going to ask a question verify if it has to be a clerk of the court notary on the proof of ID docs? Can someone throw that in there for a question? please.
Say that again.
I think there would be good clarification on that, but I do remember him saying that it needs to be a government and not a banking institution. But somebody, whoever gets the next question in, if you could ask that, would be great.
Yeah. Clarify if we have to do it at a clerk of a court notary, or if we can just go to any old notary, like a bank or whatever, to do the ID docs.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. I just realized I'm the next person. I was doing something.
No worries. So for the proof of identification document that he just showed, can you just double, triple check that that we can use any public notary, or do we have to use a clerk of the court notary?
Okay.
To get that done, if you could just verify that.
Hey, just jump in on when he calls me.
Okay.
All right, cool. I think I'm about to get skipped.
I did see your hand up next, but now I don't see you next.
Yeah,
Your
no.
questions are the bomb. You better not get skipped.
What's that book again? You said the bonds for the win? Was that it?
Yes, that's what he said.
Okay.
I believe with bonds for the win, you're still going to have to go through the Freedom of Information Act. I was just looking over that the other day.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I think this process avoids that,
All right,
doesn't
I'm
it?
back.
All right.
Sorry about that. Again, the weather's horrible here in Washington. We're living up to our reputation. Let me go back to Deep End in your question. Go for it.
Okay, we were talking about the Article 4 private public citizen and what standing that gave you in a legal matter, and you mentioned that it invoked the laws of the republic and it was a privately registered, and then you don't.
Right. So yeah, you're privately registered. You have your public notary that does that, but most importantly, you have your 2 IRS numbers that were given to you for that as well. So now you're a federally licensed, not licensed, unlicensed bounty hunter, bank examiner, and private attorney general, because you have those numbers available to you. So now you got those kind of 3 or 4 things. Oh, and then you have your signature under your private seal, and you got your badge. Yeah, so you have a lot on just that one page right there. So yeah, that's absolutely, you can hold that standing.
And can you use any notary, or does it have to be a specific notary?
You can use any notary.
Roger that. Thank you.
No problem. Let's go to Simba.
Hey, Mr. Michael, I was after Deep End for some reason.
Oh, okay, go for it. Sure.
But I think the gentleman asked a question that DW wanted an answer to. Really quick, even with the badges and our American citizen status, is it okay if I CC the comptroller of the currency or the attorney general of the state to have witnesses that, for example, Miss Wynn, I believe, stated she sent off her SF documents, and the retort or the rebuttal from the company was that they're not going to do it. So is it possible for me to also have witnesses, maybe not if in my first notice, in my second, to solidify me getting a win?
Why did they say no?
Miss Wynn, if you're on the call, can you answer that? She
was booted out earlier.
Okay, Miss Wynn in our Tuesday class stated that she had sent off her SF documents, and before the call started tonight, she stated about 5 companies who stated they weren't going to do it. And I had asked her about having her non-UCC, her ID, and she said she did all of that, and she had it in the packet, and they were telling her no. So that was the reason why I was asking this question. Got
you. Yeah, now you need to go ahead and go to the next procedure. And again, I hear, if I hear something like that, I don't know what they put in their cover letter. I don't know how they follow up with. I don't know. There's so many aspects to the situation that is there, and you want to also set up a UCC contract trust as well. As you notice with the UCC contract trust, these identification forms were sent to the Treasury as well. That's why when we're setting up a UCC contract trust, you can do this process now. As Patrick has stated, I'm going to upload a video of Patrick kind of going over that as well. Yeah, once you do this with the UCC contract trust, they're gonna check it. They're gonna go to the higher ups and they're gonna be like, "Hey, Treasury Department, do you know this person? Do can you identify them?" Because they're going to the treasurer and they're trying to just basically see if you're foreign.
Right.
All they got is just this SSN number of a debtor who's located in Puerto Rico, and they're protecting those assets. So when you get an answer no, I don't automatically think these people are evil. I automatically think, what did they do or what's their process that got them to say no? And that's why I want it in writing on why it was rejected.
Okay, and one real quick question. Are we going to go over the 1040 ES? I saw it in the UCC contract trust, but I was looking for it in the files, but I didn't see it.
We will go through, basically, I'm going to set up a establishing UCC contract trust step-by-step video, which I'm implementing onto the website because I just don't know if it's going to be pulled down on YouTube or not.
It will.
Yeah, it will. Right. So yeah, so that is the biggest project. I have to do it in a way where it's different than every other guru because everything that I've seen so far is this is how you do it. This is how you submit it. You got to know what you're doing. If I haven't beaten it in your head enough, you got to know why you're doing these things. That's why I'm making the correlation to the license thing. Hey, we're getting you the license for your healthcare. You got to know your policies and procedures for the Department of Health so that you can operate your business. And then when they had consults with me, when I was teaching them how to run their business and do marketing and management and stuff like that, I would say, hey, look at your policies and procedures that you submitted. This is already involved with it. Oh, so when I hire, my HR administrator, this is what I tell. Oh, and this is their job. I was like, yes, that's why you have to read your policy and procedure manual. They all interconnect with the day-to-day business. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do here is kind of bring those two things together. So then when you guys are operating, especially when you got hundreds of millions of dollar bonds, you are operating professionally because it is a prestigious position, like I mentioned, to be an individual banker. All right.
Okay, thank you, Paul. And thank you, Simba. I'm sorry about that.
All right, let's go to Pauline.
Oh, hold on. That was,
oh, Simba. Sorry, I skipped Simba. My bad. All right, go for it.
No worries. How's everybody?
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right, cool. All right. So this is kind of a statement as well as a question because if we're operating in the private and we're exercising our authority, why are we going outside of our own private bank to certify documents? Why can't we figure out a way in which to certify our own documents?
You can, the commissioner can certify your own documents. That's what Patrick did, was his left and his right index finger to authenticate his documents.
Right. So I mean that's the solution.
Yeah. Be a commissioner.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
No problem. Pauline.
Quick question, Paul. Are those packages ready for purchase?
That's the big announcement for tomorrow on the Facebook page where to get
awesome.
Them. Absolutely. Yep. And for the professors as well. I'm putting a few last minute things, kind of doing some testing, but all those announcements will be for tomorrow on the Facebook page. If you want to get to the Facebook page, just email creditoracademy@gmail.com and we will post it there. And yeah, we'll do that. I'm super excited. And then also we give the formal introduction to the professors and who they are, as well as also showing some example IDs that were made and stuff like that on the computer. It'll be exciting engagement stuff. So I'm kind of pumped for that. All right, let's go to James Pollard.
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
Now I'm getting a little, all right. Now I got my individual banker EIN.
Yeah.
I got my state EIN.
Right.
Tomorrow I'm gonna call to get my foreign grantors trust EIN.
Uh-huh.
And do my non-UCC.
Okay.
Now by we in the private now, which EIN I basically use most of the time is the individual one.
What?
I'm trying. All right. But I'm in the private.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I understand that the social security number that I have, I can't use that in the public, can I?
No, and that's the great thing about it is your estate is going over your social security number, okay, and which is housed in your private bank. Your private bank is the fiduciary according to the Form 56 Form 56F, excuse me. Form 56F is all about fiduciary relationships of financial institutions. That's why it's called the F. So your private bank being the fiduciary over your estate, which has control of your SSN. Now, when you do future transactions, like buy a house, buy a car, opening up a bank account, you use your private banker's EIN instead of your SSN number going forward.
Okay, that's what that's the question. That's the answer I wanted. Okay.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to be sure that it was the individual bank.
Sure, absolutely. That's what it's all about. All right, Brian Dunlap.
Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Well, my friend.
Hey, I was quick question. Before you start using the FS forms, do you have to get what would you have to do the state banker contract trust? I mean, what would you have to do for the non-UCC before you got to do the whole packet, the UCC trust,
The first step,
all that before you?
the first step everybody starts at is the individual banker EIN and your estate and your foreign grants or trust. And the reason why, and really, it's not about starting there just to get the numbers. It's about starting there to get your understanding. Why are you getting these numbers? And when you get your private bank is really, you got to understand why your private bank number, why your foreign grants or trust number, why your state EIN number. Now, the reason why, I'm going to mute you for a second. I'm getting a lot of feedback. The reason why I'm holding my professor classes is to give the full understanding of the EIN. That's the first course the professors are going to be discussing with all of you. They're going to sit you down, not to teach you, hey, this is how you fill it out online or whatever like that. Everybody and their mama does that. I was like, they're there to teach you why these numbers are important. Here at Creditor Academy, if you don't have the understanding of what it is that you're doing, you'll never get remedy. And then you're going to come back, and just like a bad therapist, you're going to be addicted to having consultations with me. Because every time something goes wrong, you're going to be like, hey, Paul Michael, this went wrong. Why didn't this work? Well, I guess this process doesn't work. And then you're going to go to another guru who's going to give you another 2 seconds of...
No, I ain't going to do that. But I got you.
But you need to understand why you're getting the EINs, not how to get the EINs. So I would recommend to you is join our Facebook page where we're making our announcement about the professors tomorrow, and go ahead and get yourself enrolled inside of the first professor's class. This is a very cost-effective class. Let me give you kind of a high-level overview of how the class is going to go. It's going to be run exactly like a university, okay? You go into the class, you see the curriculum, you have a syllabus, and you have the book for the class. If you register for the class, you get the ebook for free, okay? You get it. You'll have it, you'll show up, and that's how you do it. I don't want to have people just get the ebook but not get the education. They're both intertwined. So once you register for the class, not only do you get a great professor who's going to teach you everything about the EINs, but also you can ask questions and have comments. Plus, at the end of the class, the professor is going to get you connected with all of the latest things for Creditor Academy. And we're going to leave the room open like I always do inside of here for all of you to connect with other individuals. So my recommendation, learn why you're getting the EINs and how they function rather than going straight for the application.
Okay, because I got all the EANs and I got the non-UCC, but I just didn't know if I was able to use the SF forms yet. That's what I was asking. That's the reason I was asking.
You can use the SF forms when you know how you're operating your private bank. And once you know that, man, like the back of your hand, like I do, man, it's like butter. It's like there's nothing a bank or an institution can say to me that I don't know how to respond and how to do it. And I'm never stressed. And things just work out well for me. And I know how to pivot. In business, you got to know how to pivot. You know, you do. It's life's a journey, man, no doubt.
Man, I appreciate you, Paul, man. Thanks for everything you do, man.
Absolutely, no problem. All right, let's go to Andreas.
Oh boy, where do I even begin? It was funny. I sent off a digital negotiable instrument to a company I was leasing a car with to drive for Uber. I was actually sleeping in the car too. And at some point, I was talking to my customers about negotiable instruments and bills of exchange, and they canceled my contract, like as if they were surveilling. Like in the contract itself, they said they're going to be surveilling me and reporting all my telemetry and geolocations, selling that to third parties. So either that, they were listening to me and found out what I'm going to do to them, or it was because I ran through flood water and the car sent off some kind of tip that there's something wrong with the car. So they canceled the contract without even telling me. And then they kept billing me for a month. So then I sent in negotiable instruments and they offset the bills. And I didn't even have my UCC yet. I had nothing. And they performed under the UCC, which was cool. So I offset that debt. Now I have a lot of other negotiable instruments ready to go, ready to send off. I just don't have the money for the postal fees. I was wondering if I could take those to the clerk of the court in Los Angeles and have those dealt with. If I bring them my private UCC contract, or is there a faster way to do this?
Are you trying to get reimbursements for the money that you spent?
Yeah.
SF 1047.
Okay.
Read the Establishing a UCC Contract Trust and the Basis of the Treasury System by Patrick Devine. He tells you exactly where you need to send that 1047 and what documents you need to submit with it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but congratulations, my friend. You found your remedy.
Oh yeah, so much more to come.
Yep. Also on our remedy or on creditoracademy@gmail.com, Andreas, if you'd like to upload your personal testimony to your remedy, I will post it on Creditor Academy and our various other social media sites in order for others to be encouraged about your journey and more successes that you have to come.
Also, I paid off a car, a minivan in full, so I have to go after the securities of that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you understand the operation. You know what hats to put on, and that's really all you need. Then nothing can trouble you, and you can go through life no issues.
Yep, and I got an eviction going on too, so it's gonna be interesting showing up.
Man, you are you're busy.
Oh yeah.
You just said, give me every problem, I'm gonna take it head on.
It's a Phoenix moment, man.
It's a Phoenix, bro. Yeah, man, go all the way out.
Going to the deepest depths of bankruptcy.
Oh,
what is the pirate's favorite word? You would think it's the R, but it is the C.
Yeah.
The letters. Right.
Nice, nice. I like it. I like it. Now,
What did you tell him to read? What did you tell him to read? The 1047 and.
Read the UCC, Establishing a UCC Contract Trust and the Basis of the Treasury System by Patrick Devine. Okay, let's go to Vicky Sutherland.
Hi, Paul Michael. How are you?
Oh, doing good, Vicky. Good to see you again. Hey, super fun times.
Thank you. So my question is,
Mhm.
if I'm already a secure party creditor,
Mhm.
would I have to redo that process? Because I know there's a difference in what I did last year and what I see, like what I understand now, which a lot of it, like I think what I did was even more
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
went through the process. So my question is, what, I mean, how would I address that? Like, is there anything I need to do different with the secure party creditor aspect of it, or what?
Your journey starts with your understanding about what you submitted already. You need to
Mm-hmm.
examine the documents that you submitted and the contracts or your security agreements, read
Okay.
them over and figure out and relate it to that process that you've done, and then
Okay.
to try to find the avenue by which you want to operate, which is your own private not-for-profit bank. The reason why you want a not-for-profit bank is for just exchangement of equity. If you have $100 and you contract someone out for $100, that's called just exchangement. You didn't make a profit, just their labor was worth $100, and the vehicle, the Federal Reserve notes that you use to have them do that duty, was the exchangement. Now, if you make a profit for it, then that's usury. Okay. And the reason why it's usury is because that's what the for-profit corporations are doing. They're claiming that they're nonprofit, but they're doing for-profit activities. So that's why Creditor Academy is a for-profit company. That's a different entity, different operation, but my private bank is nonprofit. So I keep the entities separate, but controlling interests are closely related.
Okay, so let me ask another question to
Mhm.
clarify this. Okay, so I know I need to get my non-UCC. I guess the question that I was asking regarding the SPC is, like, I know what I did when I did that, but I know that, you know, walking this path is going to complete the process. Like, I mean, I see the overarching, I guess, answer to what I need, or like the fulfillment of it all.
Right, right. Then you just need to, right now they have on file probably a UCC1 financing statement saying who the secured party is currently from your original filing. Now you just do an updated one. You say, hey, I have one to overdo that, you know, it's a non-UCC, and this is my private bank over my surety account or the debtor account. And then as you reestablish the secured party, now you can do your Form 56Fs to have your private bank over the estate in the foreign grantor trust. And now everything's in balance again. Now you got your estate, your FGT, your private bank EIN, you have your non-UCC, all of that. And so, yeah, that's how pretty much you put everything back into balance. So I don't know what you submitted, but just review it. It's your understanding to do it, but you're not far away.
Okay, so like with the SPC, this is the last question, I'm sorry. So I know, like, the guy that you know, was I guess the guy that was orchestrating all this, he was like into, you know, the A for V's and the 1099 A, B, and C, and those exchanges of bills. But with the non-UCC, I know that's like a whole different entity from that. Because I mean, I don't really hear you talk about like well, I've heard you mention a few times about the 1099 A, B, C, but more so like you've talked about the payment and performance bonds and the 1414, 1415, 1416, 1418, the 1047. So those are what I understand on this side. So
those are banking forms.
Okay,
actually, yeah, the 1099s could be a form of banking as well. There are places for the 1099 forms. It's just that in Patrick's final process, he was like, hey, this is how you liquidate those performance and payment bonds, and these are the banking forms to make it accomplishable. And that's why Tom made that statement that I pointed out before, that when he asked, I'm still trying to get clarification for what the need of the 1099s are for now that these SF forms have taken over. And he doesn't really address that. Patrick moved on from them. He was just like, listen, I want to make my life simple and easy. The easiest way is for me to liquidate bonds, transfer them to my bank account, give my account and routing number, and buy whatever I want, instead of going through the aggravation of trying to do these 1099 forms and bills of exchange and all that. He was just like, give me the money and I'll just spend it. And if I run out, I'll liquidate another bond. That's not a problem. That was pretty much his way of going about it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I yield.
No problem. Let's go to Kenneth or William Redden.
How are you doing, Paul?
Doing good, buddy.
I wanted to make a statement first. Mr. Lemuel was talking about Miss Wynn, talking about earlier that they denied her. We talked to her today, and we've known her for 35 years. And we talked to her today, and what they told her was that she has fallen prey to a sovereignty scam. And that's their reasoning for not approving this. But I did have a question. You had mentioned earlier about someone had put their house in their foreign grantor trust to prevent foreclosure. Now, my house isn't in foreclosure, but where do I need to go and look and read about how to do that process? Because I want my house.
Super simple. I'm here to tell you. It is so easy, it's ridiculous. Okay. First, number one, your private bank, you issue, okay. Let me formulate my thoughts here, because that's a good question. Everybody has questions. I wrote that in the book as well to deal with that exact question. And I wrote it so eloquently in the book. I'm like, how do I repeat that so that it makes just as much sense? So give me a moment.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay.
Repeat the question.
Yeah, go ahead and repeat the question.
How do I put my house in my foreign grantor trust? I just want it as far away from anybody else's hands as possible.
Okay. Foreign grantor trust. When acquiring a property like a house, you can use the trustee of your private bank to sign the contract and place the property under the name of your foreign grantor trust. This arrangement can exempt your house from property taxes, HOA fees, and other public fees. Additionally, assets held in the foreign grantor trust are not easily accessible to the public, offering you a higher degree of privacy. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I've learned more from you in the last month than I have in the last 9 months searching this stuff out. So
well, glad I could be helpful, my friend. It's not, I wish I could have got my time back as well. But your remedy is not far out. Just we need to look at it from a business aspect, an organizational aspect. And yeah, you need to know what hats you're putting on. And dude, when you have all your hats on and you know how it's supposed to operate, everything's easy after that. I'm just at the stage right now where, because I know all the operations of my bank, I now have I have 100 things I want to do with my private bank. And I just want to set up my staff so then they can run it for me. I want an accountant, and I'll instruct the accountant to do proper accounting for my private bank. And I want my own kind of bounty hunter and all the other positions. And then this way I could do transactions significantly faster while I'm also freeing myself time to work on the other business. So that's all great stuff. Also, for your house, the UCC3. So basically, your private bank will take the UCC3, list the house inside of as one of the secured parties' assets, which is the private bank. The house is then now owned by the secured party. Then the trustee of the private bank houses the house inside of the foreign grantor trust. So now your foreign grantor trust, how it acquires the property is by putting it inside of your indenture agreement, which is then notarized by the state. And then it's now officially yours. So two things: secured party has to own the property first. So then there's a creditor, your creditor, over that property. And then you put it into the foreign grantor trust, which is inside the indenture agreement. UCC3 indenture agreement, and now it's housed in the foreign jurisdiction away from creditors.
Okay, well, I do appreciate your time. You have a good night now.
No, thank you. Kenneth Chavez.
Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Real good, buddy. What can I help you with?
I finally got off the boat, so I got to get in one of these meetings again.
Oh, Kenneth, that's right. So you went on like what, 3 weeks worth of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
land.
yeah. I'm a captain on a riverboat, so I got to go out there for 3 weeks at a time. But yeah, I got to work 3 weeks straight. But I'll make this as quick as I can. Now on the non-UCC, you put your address on there. Now what happens if I move? That's not going to affect it any, will it? Like move to a different address?
In the terms of it establishing a UCC contract trust with the Treasury, you should notify them of any address change, because it's your EINs have your address on file. So if you do move and the Treasury Department, you have to notify the Treasury Department of that.
Okay. So, but I don't have to do like a whole new non-UCC, do I, with a different address?
Well, if you're notifying the UCC contract trust of the Treasury Department or the TTNL of your address change, you might just want to do a you know what I mean? Like, we're talking, what is it to ship that thing? Like $20? You know?
Yeah. That's no problem. So I just wondering if that was necessary.
Actually, wait. I take that back. Everything's in reference to your register mail filing number. So actually, you would keep the register mailing filing number the same, and then you could do an address update. So no, you would technically not have to do that, but I would notify about any address changes to the IRS.
Okay. And on my 98 number, my foreign number, I use Canada, and I just found out that they became a Hague country. So do I have to redo that?
Oh yeah, you would.
Oh man. Okay, so I have to redo that one.
No, that's communists.
Yeah. They just became a Hague country in January or something like that.
Yeah,
from
they
what I've seen.
did.
Okay. So I just redo that 98 number then.
No, actually, he could change the address. 8822B.
Yep, there you go.
8822V, you said?
B as in boy.
Oh, B as in boy. 8822B. Just change the address. Okay. Okay, fantastic. One last quick question, and it'll be over with. Now, when they send you a bill, can I just make a copy of that bill and then endorse it on the back so that I don't have to get it entangled with all the print that they have in the back? You know what I mean?
According to what Patrick has done, Patrick, when in his teachings, has always said he just took the back of the bill, 45-degree angle, with the when he established a UCC contract trust, he did an acceptance for value endorsement stamp for his private banker's EIN. So depending on where you established a UCC contract trust?
No, not yet. I was just wondering as far as, because you know how they always have all the print on the back of the bills that they send you.
Yeah.
You know, I was just wondering if, you know, the acknowledgement endorsement, so I don't get it entangled with all of that extra print. You know what I
Just
mean?
look at your paperwork and just say, if I was an agent to receive all of this, does this make sense?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you got to do. And as Patrick did with his process as well, he threw his UCC 9 statement of the laws and outlined them and all that. So yeah, it was quite a bit. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Paul.
I'm going to skip down a little bit. Jenna, go for it. DW Consultants. Oh, your mic isn't working. Okay, let's go to DB.
Hey, what up, Paul?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, just trying to make it.
Aren't we all?
I got a question about, do I send the 56 in before I send anything else in? And do I send the 56 in separate from the 56F? Or do I even have to send the 56F?
Yeah, according to Patrick's teachings, he said the 56F is the financial institution over your estate and foreign grants or trust. A 56, currently, I do not see a reason for it. I could be mistaken. But no, I do not think as part of the process he has a Form 56 because he is naming a financial institution.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just send the 56F in.
Mm-hmm. You know what you do is you start with the first class of my professors. What are you doing? Why am I getting these EINs and all of that? And get the whole picture of how you operate, so then you can have confidence on whatever it is that Patrick was teaching about how he was operating his private bank. That's where you start. Everybody starts at the EINs. No one gets out of it.
Oh yeah, I got all of that. I got my badge. I got my proof of identity. I got everything. I'm
now
literally.
you need to know why you got those things and how.
And that's why I ain't never said nothing out yet, because I want to have a true understanding.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
you know, I heard, like, I think I heard that the 56 was supposed to get an IRS like a heads up. I'm about to be sending blase towards your way.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to get clarification on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, that sounds good. Join our Facebook group. That's a great conversation to bring up with others and connect with others as well. All right. Last question of the night, which is from Lovemore.
Hey, Creditor Academy fam.
Hey,
Paul Michael Rowland, the guru. So I got to piggyback. I think his name was Andrew when he was talking about his eviction. And also, I'm getting ready to move out of the country. So yeah, I'm about fed up with these folks here. So I would need to do that 88-2B also.
For
the address change.
Well, you talk about the FGT?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
no, well, that's out of the country anyway.
Right. That's already, you know.
Oh,
right.
so I ain't got to do the change. That's cool. Now, the process for, you know, some people have the foreclosure coming, some people have the eviction. How do you get remedy for that?
Same thing. Well, as Patrick taught, not giving legal advice, entertainment purposes only, based off of what Patrick taught on how he operated his private bank. The secured party through the UCC 3, which was the amendment for addendum form, excuse me, of the UCC 1. Okay, he listed the property of which he was to have, because look at it. Okay, remember this? You see this non-UCC? Remember this collateral agreement down here? Okay, nowhere in this says, hey, here's my car, here's my house, here's my truck, or anything like that. So there's another form called an addendum form. It looks just like this. And what it does is at the top, it says, reference your filing number. What's your filing number of your addendum form? It's your registered mail number that's in reference to this one. So now you got your filing number, you have the secured party, you kind of just put that all together. And now you start listing in the collateral that VIN number, that property title, or whatever. And now you got this and a whole bunch of other documents with collateral for all the new stuff you're acquiring. And it all point back to this, which is the secured party, which is your private bank. So now you can get all your assets for the rest of your life, just doing addendum, addendum, addendum. Now, after you do the addendum, now the secured party owns the property. They're the first in line, first in time, first creditor above all the other creditors. The reason why they're the first creditor is because you own it. You own the title. You're the beneficial owner. That's your property. It has your name on it. So now what do? You go ahead and you call up the trustee of your foreign grantor trust and you're like, hey, can you come out and have lunch with me? I got something to talk to you about. Then you say, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, you know that indenture agreement that you have that you set up for the foreign grantor trust? And like, yeah, I do. Bring that with you and bring the property section of that indenture agreement. I want you to write down the new property I acquired. And so now we can house it inside of the foreign grantor trust. And you're like, okay, cool deal. Now I just did that. Now what do I do? So now you got the secured party, you got the indenture agreement. Send it to whoever you need to notify them that this is the secured party over the property and this is where it's being housed in a foreign jurisdiction. Have fun. So that's what Patrick did. Any questions?
One more question. As far as the international bill of exchange, you can pay for goods and services that are not inside the republic, correct?
Private or public corporations, yeah, because it's just equitable exchangement. As long as you're not making a profit with your non-profit bank, then you're good. Yeah, just exchangement is allowed. What's not allowed is for you to see someone with a computer and you say, hey, I want to do just exchangement for that computer. And whether that's $100, you do that just exchangement. Now you have the computer, and then you go take the computer and you go tell the whole world, hey, I'm in the computer game now. I'm selling this for $150.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming to today's third quarter course 1 lesson plan. We covered the bounty hunter very extensively. On the next lesson, we will be covering the next employee of your bank and how they interact with the other employees of your bank. And the more you have understanding about which hat you are wearing for your private bank, you'll know better and better how to operate. In addition, please join our Facebook page. Join our Rumble account where we'll post our videos that were taken down before over there. And also come volunteer for Creditor Academy. If you really want to be free and you're serious about this and you want to be with other like-minded individuals, I'm telling you, I can run a business. And what we're doing here at Creditor Academy is truly unique. And being less than a month in this game, I truly have a passion for wanting to help the many of you that I've had the pleasure to speak with. And I truly say this, that my heart is in this all the way, and I have good intentions. I really appreciate you all coming out as always. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday for next class. In the meantime, I'll look out for your emails, and thank you for all the love and support. This has been Creditor Academy. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week. And wait for those announcements tomorrow on our Facebook page about the professors and the IDs and such. Okay, I'll leave the room.
Hey, what time is that?
I don't know. When I wake up.
And it's the book coming. The book.
The book. Thank you. The book is part of the class. Everybody gets the book when they get the class. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you,
Thank
Paul.
you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks.
No problem. I'll stop.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Love you so much.